Hey everyone, Suresh here with Coastal Longevity Institute. Today we are going to answer the question that I get probably most often, which is fibroblast safe? Before I get into this, I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself, which I like to do just to give you a little bit of confidence in who you're listening to. I graduated university pre-med. In university, I studied biochemistry, anatomy, physiology, physics, you name it. So when you have to graduate pre-med, you're required to take quite a few of the sciences, of course. So this is something that I not only have a long-standing understanding of, but also a passion about. So I am certified. I'm a Certified Fibroblast Technician through the Privé Academy that's based in Slovenia. And I've done extensive training here at Coastal Longevity Institute. We have a completely sterile medical facility here where we do all the procedures, and it is something that we take pride in, having a nice clean office where we do other procedures as well for anti-aging and longevity. I am the fibroblast technician here in the office, and I take care of all the fibroblast procedures. So it's important when you're looking for a technician to find someone who is certified, insured, and has a proper training and background to do it, because it is an important procedure. This is your face and your body that you're talking about, and you don't want to trust that to just anyone. So now let's get into, is it safe? So I get that question a lot, and the answer for when it comes to fibroblast is yes. In fact, if you do your research, you'll find that fibroblast is one of the safest aesthetic procedures out there. A lot of people come to me because they're considering plastic surgery and they want to know if fibroblast is a safer alternative. I'll give you some of the most common concerns I hear from women and men when it comes to fibroblast versus plastic surgery. Of course, the biggest concern for most people is the cost. The cost of plastic surgery is exponentially higher than the cost of fibroblast. And that is a big deal for a lot of people. So the number one thing we get when we get the questions is, well, the cost of fibroblast is here, the cost of plastic surgery is up here. What are the difference in results? The difference in results all depend on what you're really looking for and the severity of your condition. So what fibroblast is a skin tightening procedure. It's not something that's going to, reconstruct your face or anything like that. It's essentially going to take you back 5-10 years to what you looked like back then. It's not going to make you look like a totally different person. The end game is not for people to look at you and say, oh, I think she got some work done. The end game is for people to look at you and say, wow, you look great. You look fresh. You look revived. You look, refreshed. That's what you want people to look at you and see. They want you to see a version of you, just younger and fresher looking. And that's what fibroblast does. There is no cutting, there is no stitches, there's no long downtime. And of course, one of the biggest concerns that I hear from people is going under anesthesia. I know that there are some procedures out there, some plastic surgery procedures out there as plastic surgery is advancing, where there is some options to not go under general anesthesia, but I'm going to say that's fairly new and not many physicians are practicing that. For the most part, you're going under general anesthesia for plastic surgery, and of course that's a concern for a lot of people, rightfully so. I'm not going to get into on this video the different concerns and different dangers of going under general anesthesia. That's something you can Google for yourself and research for yourself. If you're looking at plastic surgery, you may have already read that. So those are some of the concerns I get from the people coming in here, that they're concerned about the cost of plastic surgery and they're concerned about the potential dangers of the general anesthesia. And with fibroblast, you don't have either. You have a affordable procedure that's going to get you phenomenal results, and there's no general anesthesia. What we use here in the office is I have a topical numbing cream. It goes onto your skin for anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, and then when the procedure starts, you don't feel a thing, and that's the beauty of it. When the procedure is done, You get to go up and get up and go ahead and get in your car and drive home. You don't need someone to drive you home. There's no downtime. You could literally go food shopping right afterwards if you wanted to. It's a totally safe procedure, and it's same day. You're right out the door with no downtime. So the other concern that people have with some of the other procedures out there are they penetrate the skin. There's needling and blading techniques that involve blades, needles, and of course blood. With fibroblasts, you don't have any of that. So if that's a concern for you, especially in this day and age with everything going on, and it's a valid concern, once again, I get from a lot of the people that come into my office, they're worried about some of these procedures that involve cutting and needles and blood. And fibroblast doesn't involve any of that. Once again, making fibroblast one of the safest alternatives when it comes to an aesthetic procedure. Now, a lot of people ask, okay, well, with plastic surgery, there's a lot of downtime because, your face is now going to be wrapped up. You have wounds that need to heal. Sometimes drains need to be put into these wounds. There's possibility for infection, a lot of different concerns. Once again, if you're considering plastic surgery, I'm sure that you're probably seeing and reading about some of these. And people ask, what about with fibroblast? Is this a concern? Are there similar concerns? With fibroblast, there is no open wound, if you would. It's a microscopic burn from the plasma pen. So you can, obviously, I wouldn't want you to, touch your face with your dirty hands thereafter. That's never a good idea in any situation. But it's not like you have these open cuts with stitches and drains or anything like that. The procedure is super easy. You have the dots, as you probably can see in the pictures when you Google the dots going on. They create a microscopic trauma burn, if you would, and that's it. There's nothing else that is involved in the procedure. So for those of you who are concerned about the dangers of things like infection and things like that, fibroblast is a super, super safe procedure. The other thing I get a lot is people who have been or are considering to do Botox, and more is coming out these days about Botox and some of the dangers of Botox. People ask me all the time, is Botox safe? And it's hard for me to answer that question because it kind of goes into that realm of, are vaccines safe? Well, you could talk to some people who get vaccinated and believe in vaccines, and they're going to say they have no problems and they are fine. And then you're going to talk to other people who have children that they got vaccinated, and now these children are suffering from, one of many ailments, and those parents are blaming the vaccines for those ailments, whether it could be a developmental ailment or anything else. You look at that and you say, okay, well, what could it be? I don't know. So once again, it really, really depends on, you personally, your body. I can't sit here and say Botox is dangerous, but I also can't sit here and say Botox is 100% safe. I can't do either. You got to do your own research and look into it. Like I said, there's more and more coming out about Botox that some of it isn't very good with regard to Botox, but once again, you got to look at what you want and the risk you're willing to take. Like I said, with vaccines, some of the vaccines are attributing to autism and things like that, and you don't know for sure. Long term, what are the effects of Botox in your body? Because essentially Botox is a toxin, right, that you're injecting into your body in low levels strategically. In the long term, over a period of years or more, could that have a negative effect? Well, more and more research is coming out, so you can look into that. However, when it comes to fibroblast, you have none of those concerns. You don't have any of those concerns that you see that people are kind of worrying about these days with Botox. So that's my response when people ask, how's it compared to Botox? There's no With fibroblasts, there's no toxin being injected into your skin. The needle of the device never even touches your skin. There's literally no penetration of your skin with a blade or a needle or anything. So there's nothing going into your body. So that's how I respond to that. So when people ask in general, is fibroblast safe? The answer is yes. It is one of the safest aesthetic procedures out there. The danger in fibroblasts comes into the technician that is doing the procedure on you. You want to make sure you're going to a certified fibroblast technician that has the training and the accomplishments and the accolades to support what they're doing, because it's not just, pick up the pen and start throwing these little microscopic burns on people's faces, because if done improperly, you can cause scarring, you can cause damage, and you're not going to get the effect that you're paying a pretty good amount of money for. So in all, you want to make sure that although it's a safe procedure, if it's not done by the right person, it can be a dangerous procedure, and that goes for many things. But with the fibroblast pen, you can, if you don't know what you're doing, cause damage. And of course, now you have to look at the person's skin. Certain skin types and certain skin tones can't get the procedure done. There's a whole scaling system that is on our paperwork that we go over in the pre-procedure with our clients. So we ask a whole series of questions about your medical history. And there are some clients here and there that because of something in their background or something in their history, does not make them a candidate for fibroblasts. So if you have questions about that, about whether you may or may not be a candidate for fibroblasts, you can go ahead and contact us at coastallongevity.com, and we'll answer those questions for you. Either myself or someone on our team will answer that question. If you have any other specific questions, go ahead and leave a comment below here, and we'll do our best to answer that question. So I hope this gives you a better understanding of, is fibroblast safe? In my opinion, and the opinion of many others, fibroblast is one of the safest aesthetic procedures out there today. No needles, no cutting, no blades, no blood, no nothing, no toxins involved with it. Just a completely natural procedure where you're using your body's own natural healing process, collagen production, to help tighten your skin and firm your skin and bring in collagen to make you look years and years younger. And it's a procedure that is going to last for years, not weeks, not months, but years. So hope this answers some of your questions. If you have any other questions, like I said, leave the comment below or contact us on coastallongevity.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.